In this tutorial, we're going to look at how we can import a database into our Raspberry Pi. First thing you need to do, besides having access to phpMyAdmin, is to check the actual source of the file. So when you open up the file, you should actually see this create table command. Sometimes you'll see create database, but because we're importing a table, we should have the table and its table name. You can then see all the fields that will be going into this database, and then as you scroll down, you'll see all the data. So once you know you've got this information correct, it should import okay. So what I'm going to do is just close that at the moment. Next thing we need to do is actually log on to the Raspberry Pi. So use your password to log in as an administrator. Once you're logged in as the administrator, you can then have a look at what databases are existing. Because we're making a new database, we need to make a new container. To do this, we're going to click on database, and then we can actually give it a database name. I'm just going to call this database students. Now the reason for this is because it's plural, because there's going to be more than one student in the database, and once we've done that we can click on create, and you'll notice that there's a new container that's created here. We can now create the table if we want to, but we're going to import that table we're just looking at. To do that, I'm going to click on import. In here are all the settings to import a table. We've already checked the source file, make sure it's got create table. It's going to receive the correct SQL instruction to do so. So all we need to do is choose that file. This is on my desktop. Once again, you can see the create table at the top. I know I've got the right database and click on open. You'll then actually see the name of the file here. You notice the naming convention I've used for the file import is tbl_students, and that is reflected in the properties of the table. Once you've done that, scroll down to where Go is and click that. It'll start its import process. Now there's 1,000 students being imported into this table, so it just takes a little while to do. Once that's done, you'll see there's 1,001 queries executed, where it's actually executed a create query 1,001 times. From create the table, which is the first one, right through to the 1,000 records that were added. So when we click on table student now, you can actually see all the data that's in the database. That's how we go about importing a table into a database. Now just to check it's working, I've written a very simple query. So when I refresh this now, you'll see that we've actually got some data coming back from the database. So I hope you found this tutorial useful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to my channel. Also have a look around for other useful PHP and MySQL tutorials.